Hello, good afternoon. This is David Studio talking to you, and today is my weekly trade predictions video for the upcoming trading week of June 28th through July 2nd, 2021. Okay, and what I'm going to do right here, like normal, is I will examine all the major Forex currency pairs on a 30-minute time frame. Okay, just like you see right here on the screen, and then I'm going to compare these to higher time frames, such as the 4-hour daily and weekly charts. And then I'm going to, based on my experience, I'm going to try to give you my analysis of what I think is going to happen this coming week. Okay, so to begin with, the US dollar retreated this past week. Okay, US dollar sank back down. Okay, and 2 weeks ago we saw the US dollar spike up a lot. Okay, and that was because of the new interest rates that were coming out. The federal government and the US decided to raise interest rates, and that's usually a good sign that the economy is rebounding. Okay, so based on that, the US dollar spiked up. But whenever we have a big spike, we always have a pullback behind that. Okay, and then we'll have a pullback and then another spike up. Okay, and that's exactly what's going on right now. Okay, so like I said, 2 weeks ago it shot up, now it's come back down a ways, and then it'll go back up even more. Okay, so that is normal in Forex. I see this all the time. Now, if the US dollar is going up, then the euro, the Great British pound, and Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, those other major pairs are going the opposite direction. Okay, they're going down. Now, based on what happened this past week, okay, the US dollar retreated some, and I'll show you that here in a minute. So it allowed the euro, the pound, Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, all these other ones to go up as a result. And we see this right here. Okay, and look at this chart I got pulled up right here. This is Euro USD. Okay, and we see that the price gained this past week, right? So didn't gain a huge amount. Okay, so basically the price shot down, which is good. 2 weeks ago, now it came back up a little ways. And but we see something kind of interesting here. I'm on the 30-minute time frame right now, obviously, but you see we have two red arrows right here indicating we hit a strong resistance. Okay, and that's, I could mark that using a horizontal line, and we see this high point right here. Now this one did not quite reach that, so you know, this kind of broke that. But what I think is going to happen this coming week, you know, based on what we're seeing here, is that we're going to see the price continue to range the market, but I think we're going to start seeing a more of a downtrend emerge. Now, if we look at the 4-hour chart, okay, this is interesting also. Okay, we have a you know, strong resistance hit here where I marked it already. Okay, now it has not broken. If it breaks, it will continue to go up. But here's the deal. If we look at the daily chart, it shows to go down. The weekly chart shows to go down. So for me personally, I do not think we're going to see a big spike up this week. Okay, yes, it is possible that this could break and continue to go up. If it does, it's not going to go up a huge amount. If I readjust this green line, look at this. We have a resistance right here. Okay, see, the price broke here, spiked back up, and formed a resistance here as well. So yes, it's possible that this Euro USD will go up and touch this line on the 4-hour chart here. If we look at the 4-hour chart, the 1-hour chart already has a red arrow. Okay, already formed a resistance here. So that's a pretty strong resistance. Okay, on the 1-hour chart. The problem is we do not have a red arrow on the 4-hour chart. That's what we're looking for. So you see this candle here went slightly higher than this candle, okay, which I showed you on the 30-minute time frame. Okay, so based on that, we could have yet another higher. Okay, but I would still focus on selling the Euro USD because the long-term trend is to go down. We had a big drop here and then a pullback, and then we'll have another drop again. Okay, and we're looking for the price to come all the way down. Oops, let me see if I can drag this all the way down here. Okay, just to kind of give you an idea, we're looking for the price to drop down to this level. That's going to take a few weeks, okay, maybe even another month, I don't know, but I would say about 3 to 4 weeks for this to really drop down to this level. So this week, what I think is going to happen, we're going to see mostly a range of market, probably with a slight increase, at least in the beginning of the week, and then around Wednesday or Thursday we'll see the price drop back down. Okay, so if you look here on the 30-minute time frame, we have, you know, the signal to buy and sell, but we don't have any blue arrows. You know, we have blue arrow here, but in between we don't have any blue arrows. So it's very possible we can see a third red arrow, even higher, okay, without any blue arrows in between. Okay, so, but again, you know, we see a strong resistance. What I would do, okay, if you have a sell position already open, keep it open, okay, and wait for the next blue arrow. Okay, you know, based on what I taught this past week. Now I would definitely wait for another red arrow to form before I place any more trades. Do not buy. I know the price is starting to go up, and it probably will go up this week, but long term, we got to look at the long term aspect of things. Okay, we had a big drop here, and then a slight pullback, and then we'll have another drop. Okay, now yes, the price might go up a little more this week, come up in this range. I don't know, because like I said, there's a resistance right here. Okay, there's no arrow there obviously, but we can see there's a resistance right there, and that would probably be the point where the price will go up to. Okay, if it does, I don't know, but I suspect that the price will probably go up to this range right here and then drop back down, and probably drop about the middle of the week. Okay, so that's what we're looking for, and I would definitely want to focus on selling only. Okay, yeah, you could buy and sell obviously, but let's just look at the, you know, long-term aspect of things. Okay, yes, the price, if you look at the daily chart here, we see the price already dropping, already broke a support here, and it's probably going to go back up and hit that former support, now resistance, and touch that and drop more. So we don't want to think so much about buying, we want to think about selling only. So keep your charts on a 30-minute, even 1 hour time frame, at, you know, look to sell. Okay, like the 1 hour time frame right now shows the sell, and we had a price drop here, and then we have a small pullback, and it's going to drop again. Now the price could go higher even still. So if you keep your charts on a 30-minute time frame, wait until at least the London session, maybe even New York session on Monday before placing any trades. Okay, that way it gives the time for the market to become alive after sleeping all weekend. Okay, so we want to definitely wait and try to focus on it, see if there's another sell trade. Now if you get a blue arrow now, that's fine, you could buy, but I would still wait until you get another red arrow. Okay, that might be Tuesday or Wednesday, I don't know, but be patient. Okay, wait for the next sell opportunity before you place any more sell trades. Okay, moving on to GBP USD. Okay, this was a slightly different, but we kind of see the same thing happening here. Okay, the price ended higher than where it began. I mean, we did gain, and it gained quite a bit. Now it gained not a huge amount, but it gained definitely more than what the euro did. Now we see a kind of a strong support here, and I think the price is going to go back up. What I think is going to happen this week is we're going to definitely see a lot of flat range of market this week for GBP USD, because both of these currencies are very strong currencies. The GBP is stronger than the euro. Okay, just to put that out there, and we should see this going back up. Now that's just based on the 30-minute, what we see right here. But now let's look at the 4-hour chart. The 4-hour chart shows to buy. Okay, so that's a good sign that it's going to be going back up this week. And if we look at the daily now, the daily shows to sell and the weekly shows to sell. So what exactly should we do this week? Well, again, yes, you probably can buy and sell, but as you can see here, if you buy here, the price is actually going down lower. Now we have another lower blue arrow, and we might have even another lower blue arrow. I don't know. I do think the price will be going back up, at least the first half of the week. Okay, but it's not going to go up a huge amount. We're already going into a downtrend. You know, look at the bigger time frames, it shows to sell. So if you look at the 30-minute smaller time frame, like pretty much every red arrow is lower than the previous. Okay, this one's a lot lower. So the next red arrow is going to be lower. Okay, probably right about here. Okay, because we have a strong resistance area right here. So I'll be looking for another red arrow on the 30-minute time frame to form right about here. So again, I can predict that in the beginning of this week, we're going to see the price go up. Okay, and then around the middle of the week, we see the price drop back down. And by the end of the week, we should see the price be lower than where it began right now, where we're seeing here on this black line. No guarantee, but I think more importantly is that we're going to see pretty much a flat range of market. Okay, we're going to see the price go up and back down. The following week, when we go into July time frame, we're going to start seeing more of a downtrend emerge. So to close out June, the month of June, we're going to see pretty much a flat range of market. Okay, but you know, this week I would look for sell opportunities. Okay, let's just play it safe, because like I already showed you, the bigger time frames show to sell, and we're definitely working into a downtrend finally, and it's going to take time. Okay, we're going to see, look at this, we got 2 red arrows in a row on the daily chart. So the next one should be, actually you got 3 red arrows, so the next one should definitely be a blue arrow. So we already hit these 2 red arrows in pretty much the same spot. So now we're working into a downtrend. Okay, it's just going to take time. You're going to see a lot, you might see another pullback, but overall it's going to be going down, and that's kind of what we need to focus on right now. Yeah, it's going to go back up in the short term, the next day or two, but overall it's going to be dropping. So I would wait until you get another sell signal on the 30-minute time frame and place your trade. You know, wait an hour or two after you get the signal and make sure it doesn't repaint, and then place your sell trade and close it on the next blue arrow. Okay, and then just wait for the next sell signal. So you might get 1 or 2 trades this week. Okay, so just be patient with this, and do not expect like huge gains to make tons of money overnight, because the market is kind of, I don't say stagnant, but kind of slow right now, and you're not seeing huge movements right now. Okay, you're seeing a lot of small movements up and down, and if you want, you could scalp and get a lot of buy and sell opportunities, but like a 5-minute chart, but that requires you to be constantly glued to the computer. Okay, and my philosophy more or less is to be able to place a trade and just check on that every few hours. You know, check on it about every 3 or 4 hours, and you'll be fine. Okay, just make sure you set a stopwatch or something like that. And you don't want to be constantly glued to your computer 24 hours a day, man. You got to be able to sleep sometime, right? So anyhow, look for sell opportunities for the GBP USD. Now let's look at AUD USD real quick. Again, we see the price gained here on the Australian dollar against the US dollar, right? That's okay, because like I said, the US dollar went down, had a pullback, so the Australian dollar went up as a result, and the New Zealand dollar did as well. Pretty much the same pattern. I know I don't go over in the video, but it's almost exactly the same. And Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, they pretty much the same thing. So to save time in this video, I don't go over that. But anyhow, if we look here on the 4-hour chart, it shows to go up, right? The 30-minute, you know, 30-minute shows hit a strong resistance. Of course, this one was slightly higher, and the 4-hour chart shows to go up still. So meaning, if we go back to the 30-minute, what could very well happen is there'd be a third red arrow even higher. Okay, and if you have a sell trade open, just keep it. Yes, you might have some drawdown, some swap fees, I understand, but here's the deal. We got to look at the long-term aspect of things. Okay, long-term aspect, if you look at the daily chart, okay, well, the daily chart shows to buy, but the weekly chart shows to sell. Okay, and we're going to definitely be seeing this drop over time. If we draw a trend line like this coming down, we mark a resistance right here. Okay, if I go to the daily chart, you can probably see it a little clearer. All right, so this is the target where we're looking for this to hit. Now the daily chart shows the buy, and of course this is different from the past two currency pairs I showed you. So yes, this will probably go up more than the other two, but I don't foresee, you know, a huge gain. I think it's going to be a slow and steady uphill battle. So for this week, you can expect the price to go up, most definitely, but I would still focus on selling, okay, because the bigger time frames are showing to sell. And I don't want to sound confusing here, but here's the thing. Okay, we got, where is this going to intersect with this trend line? Okay, look at the 1 hour chart here. Okay, and get a kind of a detailed picture here what's going on. So we're looking for another red arrow. The price will probably dip down in the beginning of the week and form a blue arrow somewhere here, and then probably going into next week we'll see the price shoot up even more. That's what I'm guessing. But we're looking for the price to hit somewhere in this area. If I draw a horizontal line here on this support, and where it intersects here, let me go to the 4 hour chart, maybe you can see better. Where it intersects here is possibly where it's going to form another red arrow. If I bring up this horizontal line here to this support, you see an even better possible scenario. So you can see like going at a sideways, incline here, okay, sideways trajectory. But I would not focus on buying. Okay, yes, you can, and I think the price will go up, but then we're starting getting into gambling. Okay, we got to look at the long-term aspect of where it's going. So what you should do here, okay, what you should do here, okay, this is going to be my highest recommendation. Do not worry about keeping your charts on a 30-minute time frame and buying or selling, although I will report it that way, that you can sell only. But here's the thing, keep your charts on the 4-hour time frame. Wait for the red arrow to form on the 4-hour chart, not the 30-minute. Okay, I know I always tell you keep on 30-minute time frame, but here on this particular case I would wait till you get a red arrow on the 4-hour chart. Okay, because that's going to be the most significant. And you could also, if I zoom in a little bit, you could also put a sell limit pending order just slightly below this green line right here, okay, where I marked. Okay, and you see this support arrow right here is where I marked this line. And if you put a sell limit, what happens is the price will go up, activate a sell trade, and drop back down. We know that long term it's going to drop. Short term, with this week, it's probably going to go up. Okay, most likely. And yes, you probably could buy and hold it and definitely get some profit out of that. But we got to look at the long-term aspect, and what is safer, going with the long-term trend or the short-term trend. There's always a chance if you buy right now, it'll drop back down. I don't know, but I feel safer going with the long-term aspect of things than I do with going in the short term, because we're all in this for the long haul anyways. So that is my recommendation for AUD USD. Now moving on to US dollar versus Swiss franc. Okay, now this one we saw the price drop back down, right? And that's what I said in the beginning. So, but here you see the price formed a support here, and there's another support slightly lower. That's almost exact opposite what we saw of Euro USD. Interesting, right? And this is US dollar Swiss franc, but still pretty interesting. Okay, what the US dollar has done. So we had a pullback. If I zoom out, okay, you can get a bigger picture of what's going on, obviously, but we had a big gain 2 weeks ago, and then this past week it's dropped back down. Now if we look at the 4-hour chart real quick, okay, look at the 4-hour chart. Say we had a big spike up, and now we're having a pullback. It's not a big drop, is it? We're not seeing a big drop. So, you know, here we had a long steady drop, and then finally a big spike up, which is a good sign that the US dollar is finally starting to recover. Now what's going to happen this week is they're probably going to see the price drop a little bit more, form a support. I don't know exactly where, but probably right about here. Okay, we have a support here on this candle, and that would probably be my trajectory of where we're headed. If you look at the daily chart, we showed a sell. Okay, now I know I told this in other videos that we should have seen a blue arrow form here. For whatever reason we did not, so oh well, so be it. We could see another red arrow even higher, which is kind of what I'm thinking. But the thing is, if we look at the weekly chart, here's the deal. Weekly chart is stronger than the daily, and the weekly chart shows to go up. So we had a big pullback here, which was not good, you know, for you know, a month and a half, almost 2 months. The price dropped, and now we're finally seeing that resurge again. And I already marked that green line right here, so we can see the price probably drop here and then bounce up even more. Okay, so just remember that different time frames, you're zooming in and zooming out of the market to get a bigger picture of what's going on. And with this here, we get like an aerial view of the Forex market, what the US dollar is doing. And so we know long term it's going to be going up. Okay, it's not going to be going down. So I would definitely focus on buying. So kind of like what I just said here in the last currency pair, AUD USD. Here you want to wait for a red arrow. Here on USD CHF, you want to wait for a blue arrow using the 4-hour time frame. Okay, now yeah, you can keep your charts on the 30-minute time frame and buy only. It's okay. Right now, they see the price shot up, pull back a little bit on Friday, and it's probably going to shoot back up even more on Monday, and then shoot back down again. Ultimately, what we're looking for is a blue arrow to form on the 4-hour chart, and that's going to be your best bet. If you get that blue arrow on the 4-hour chart, you're golden, and that's the time to buy. Okay, so this one, just like the other ones, you're gonna have to be patient and just wait it out. Okay, it might be Wednesday before you see another blue arrow form. Okay, Wednesday or Thursday, I don't know. Okay, it's going to take a few days for this to form a blue arrow on the 4-hour chart. Okay, now daily chart, I don't know what's going on with that daily chart, but we're definitely going to be seeing a price surge because the weekly is showing to go up, and the US dollar is definitely gaining momentum. So don't be thinking that we're going to see a big drop in the US dollar. Okay, yes, anything's possible. We cannot predict the future, but based on what's happening here and historical data, you can show that when anytime you have a big spike like that, we have a change in trend. Okay, so now we're having a change in the uptrend. So you're going to have a spike up, small spike down, another spike up, another small down, like that. It's going to be like a staircase going back uphill, and it's going to take time. Okay, but I would definitely focus on buying only and wait for the 4-hour chart. You know, wait for the 4-hour signal to buy. Okay, now moving on to US dollar versus Japanese yen. Now this one's a little bit different, and like I've always said in other videos, USD JPY often behaves a lot differently than what the USD CHF or any other USD pair does. Okay, So it's just how USD JPY is, man. It's kind of quirky sometimes, and it just doesn't really follow the same trends. Now, we did see this gain this past week, which is rather interesting. For me personally, I was hoping it would go down, but it didn't. All right, but I did predict that it would probably go back up, and it did. Now if you look at the 4-hour chart though, it definitely looks like it's getting ready to drop. If you watch this. If I get a trend line, draw a trend line, look at that. Oh wow, perfect. I can look at that with my naked eyes, but I want to show you, draw a line, show you. Look at those marks. They all line up perfectly. Okay, so this is your trend line. This is your downtrend, and whenever you have a downtrend, you have to mark your resistance. Okay, I know I said this many times, but I'm just reiterating, reinforcing the fact that whenever you have a downtrend, you need to mark your resistance. Okay, and not all indicators or any indicator is going to be able to do that for you. So yes, we use indicators as a guide, but we also need to know some basic fundamentals when trading Forex. Okay, so now we know that we are in a downtrend. Okay, and if you look at the daily chart, same thing. Okay, now this is zooming out a bit, obviously, but we're definitely getting into a downtrend now with the US dollar, and that's good because we had this damn uptrend for quite a while now. And that really pissed me off, because when you saw this drop here, we're thinking, oh wow, it's going to be dropping, and then it's pulled back again. But that's okay, because we know the US dollar has been gaining anyhow. It's just, I was hoping to see like a blue arrow form. It never did. But that, you know, look at the USD CHF, never formed a blue arrow, right? So it's kind of strange. But anyhow, and that could happen here at USD CHF if we see another red arrow form. Very possible, right? So based on this though, I think we're going to see it's going to drop now, and we're going to see another blue arrow form in the next few weeks. Okay, maybe next month, I don't know. Now if we look at the weekly chart, obviously it's been showing the buy for quite some time now. Okay, this came back in the beginning of last year. So, and we had a long downtrend with the COVID, spike up, another spike down, go back up. So the long-term aspect of this particular currency pair is to go up. Okay, and I feel that it will be gaining, but in the short term, okay, or in the next few weeks, I do feel that this will be dropping. Okay, and this one's a different animal altogether. So what I would do, for me personally, I would keep your charts on a 30-minute time frame and look for sell opportunities this week only. Okay, and it's strange right now because you see on 30-minute we have a blue arrow. I already hit that resistance and it's dropping, but wait until it goes back up again and you get another red arrow and then sell. Okay, that would be your safest bet. Okay, now if you look on the 1-hour chart, it's already showing to sell, and you could probably sell and keep it that way, but in the 4-hour shows to sell, so we know it's going to be dropping. Okay, but see, the thing is, it already hit that and dropped. Now if you sell right now, there's a good chance it will shoot right back up. So to play it safe, let's just wait until we get a red arrow on the 30-minute time frame. Okay, that will be a really good kicker right there. That'll be a good sign that we need to sell. Okay, and close the trade when you get the next blue arrow on a 30-minute time frame. That'll be your best bet for the USD JPY this week. Okay, now last but not least is US dollar versus the Canadian dollar. Okay, now we definitely see the price retreated this past week, but formed a nice support line down here. So if you zoom out, look at this. We had a spike up and then a pullback. Okay, now notice this blue arrow. Let me shift the chart a little bit. This blue arrow is slightly higher than this blue arrow, so the next blue arrow should be even higher. So okay, good. Now if you look at the 4-hour chart, look at this. Okay, it shows to sell. Kind of interesting, but I want to point out that we have a gain and then a pullback. We have another gain. We could, and it's always possible, that we could have another red arrow even higher. Look at this. red arrow followed by another red arrow slightly higher, red arrow followed by another red arrow slightly higher. It happens. Okay, we have here a blue arrow followed by another blue arrow slightly higher, slightly lower here. So we don't know. Okay, it's possible. We should see a blue arrow form here, which is typical, but not always. Not always the situation. If we look at the daily chart, okay, daily chart shows the buy. We had a blue arrow followed by another blue arrow. So in this particular case, with this big of a time frame, I feel very, very strongly that the next arrow will be a red arrow, and it looks like we're definitely going into an uptrend. Now, here's something interesting though. If we mark, well, I was trying to think here. Well, that could be our resistance right here. Okay, if we mark that, let me zoom in a little bit, and again, this is not perfect, but what potentially, okay, is what we're seeing here is, I know it broke slightly right here, but if we mark like this right here, we see this all the time. Okay, where whenever a resistance is broken, it becomes a support. Okay, and I got this zoomed all the way out, but what happens is right here the resistance break and pull back and hit that support. Now it's going to go back up again. Okay, I feel very strongly that this will be going up this week. Okay, look at the weekly chart. Look at this. Okay, now you mark that resistance. It doesn't quite demonstrate what I was talking about, but anyhow, yes, it broke here slightly, but the thing is, we finally broke a downtrend. Okay, definitely, clearly broke a downtrend. And now, whenever you have a trend broken, you always have a pullback followed by a pullback. Okay, so this is a weekly chart, so we know in the coming weeks, coming months, this price will be going up. Okay, we finally got that break in trend, which is a good sign. Okay, now it's just going to take time, really, for this to go back up. So, what do we do this week? Again, wait until you get a blue arrow on the 4-hour chart. Okay, that will be a really good indication. The 1-hour chart already shows the buy, but it's not really going up, is it? And I have a strong feeling we're going to see yet another blue arrow form even lower. Okay, so here in this particular case, wait for the blue arrow to form on the 4-hour chart, and I'm not giving any guarantee you will, but I feel pretty confident that you will see a blue arrow. And we already have a support here. Okay, if the price drops down to here, which it should in the beginning of the week, we will see a blue arrow form, and around the middle of the week, around Wednesday or Thursday, the price will shoot back up again. Once you get that blue arrow on the 4-hour chart, you are golden. Then you can drop down to like 1 hour, even 30-minute chart, and close that trade on the next red arrow. Okay, and then just repeat that. Okay, then you could keep your charts on a 30-minute time frame and look for buy opportunities only. Okay, but we know the long-term aspect is to go up. Okay, now it's interesting though. We have a blue arrow followed by a higher blue arrow followed by a higher blue arrow. I don't know. Really don't know. The only problem is, like I said, the 4-hour chart has no blue arrow yet. So I would suspect that the price is probably going to drop down to this level and form another blue arrow, even on the 30-minute time frame. But the 4-hour is the bigger kicker right here. This is the one we're definitely looking for. Okay, now if we draw a trend line like this, Well, if we draw a trend line like this, we see that it broke, okay, and it probably pulled back, okay. Now I could also draw a trend line like this and say that, okay, we're still in a downtrend. We do not have, I like this setup right here better simply because we do not have a blue arrow yet, and that's what I always look for. Wait till I have, even if you have a red arrow, I'll wait for the next blue arrow to get my full analysis, okay, of when that new trend is going to emerge. If I get a blue arrow, then draw your trend line and you're good, okay. I don't even have a blue arrow yet, so I'm just speculating on this trend line right now. Once I get the blue arrow, then I can really draw a trend line and really see what's exactly going on. But as we stand right now, that is the best trend line that I can draw. So next week I'm going to give you more analysis, more detailed instructions of what's going on with the US dollar, and by next week we should see the US dollar get ready to go into uptrend, okay. So this week we'll probably see, like I said, the beginning of the drop and then go back up again, and then going into next week we'll probably see a full uptrend emerge. And this week we'll probably mostly range of markets, mostly flat range of markets. Yeah, you could buy and sell both on a 30-minute time frame, but what I would recommend is wait until you get a buy signal on the 4-hour chart and then buy. You know, then you can switch back to the 30-minute time frame, okay, and close the trade. But definitely wait for that blue arrow on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so now I've talked enough, I bored you enough. So if you have any questions at all about these predictions, or if you need me to analyze any other currency pair, please feel free to hit me up on Facebook. I'll put a link below in the description of this video for my personal Facebook, okay? Please contact me there first. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe so I give constant updates on what the Forex market is doing, okay? And if you have not joined my Facebook group, okay, please join my Facebook group. There's a link below in the description of this video for my personal Facebook, and that way you can post any questions or comments in my Facebook group, okay? I'm more than happy to help you and try to help you grow your Forex journey, okay? So with that said, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Just let me know I can help you. Thank you so much.